I'm going to start with Jennifer. Okay, I'm going to come to Jennifer first. So Jennifer Lynn Lewis, she hit early menopause at 37 while raising three kids and teaching second grade. She was feeling exhausted, she gained weight, and she completely disconnected from her body. I'm sure, ladies, you can relate to that. Okay, now she's 51 years old. Okay, and after years of trial and error, she feels stronger and more energized and more confident than ever. Today, Jennifer is dedicated to helping other women turn midlife into their greatest comeback. I love that statement, helping women turn their midlife into their greatest comeback. So, welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for being on the call.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for having me today.
Oh, it is a privilege. We can't wait to hear your story. So, tell us a little bit about that. Obviously, you hit menopause at 37. That must have been quite huge for you.
Yes, I just had my third child at 34. So 3 years later, things started happening again, and I had no idea what I thought it would be menopause. But I was always a cold person, and I was having these weird hot things happen to me in the middle of the day. And while I was sleeping, I didn't want all those covers on anymore. And I was getting very irritable. And I'm like, this can't be. So I kept going to the doctors. And of course, I'm 37. They didn't think it was that either. So I had lots of doctor visits, lots of blood work done, and they really didn't know was wrong with me. But then the scale kept going up and up and up, and I was losing hair, just all these weird things. So they said I did have symptoms of early menopause, but they just couldn't believe it, that it'll be so early. Little did I know, my mom and my grandma were also 37. Yeah, years old. So I didn't change anything. I kept creeping up on the scale. I always exercised. My husband and I, that was kind of our date night every night. After I taught school, we would meet at the gym and we would exercise. So I was still doing that. I had taken off the baby weight, eating the same. So I felt like I tried every supplement out there. And yes, I would lose 5 to 8 pounds, but nothing sustainable. I didn't go further than that. And I just wasn't feeling like I was getting anywhere real quick. And then I would gain more afterwards. Right. So I wound up gaining 50 pounds at the age of 51. In fact, this September was my highest weight. So it was subtle after through the years, but it was a lot. In between menopause and all the symptoms, I also wound up having 3 traumatic car accidents. So I was hit by a soil erosion truck while I was sitting still, and I had to have 2 discs replaced in my neck. And I also was hit, my husband and I were hit by a tractor trailer, and we're very lucky to walk away from that accident. And I had to retire from teaching at that point. So not only was I having these menopause symptoms and some brain fog and all going on, now I had brain trauma. So I really did feel like I was at a loss with my body and I didn't know what to do. And I kind of just wanted to give up and think, you're 51, this is what you have to deal with. So I ran into someone that I hadn't seen for a while, and she looked fantastic. We had lunch together, and I kept wondering what she was doing, but it's kind of weird to ask. And I got up the courage and asked her, and she told me that she was doing a GLP1. And I had seen those Ozempic, Wegovy, all those kind of commercials. And I was like, just thinking it was diabetes. I wasn't thinking that was a thing for me. But she said she was doing it. She felt great. She looked wonderful. And I'm like, well, maybe I should start to research. So I was one of the lucky ones. I found Ellie first. I didn't try anybody else. Ellie and I were married together for the first shot. So literally. And I started with tirzepatide, and I've been using it since September. And I was seeing little things like on the scale, the inflammation was going down. My legs weren't swollen. I wasn't feeling achy and my joints weren't hurting. I wasn't needing a nap at 3 o'clock. And I'm down now 39 pounds. So almost the whole 50 pounds from my menopause, which is amazing. And then my unbelievable story with the NAD, I would like to share real quick, if that's okay. I started that a few weeks later. And when I got hit by that tractor trailer, I had gone through a big 2.5 hour test. And I was at a 1% memory for cognition and memory. I could not repeat three numbers in order back to my doctor. I was hysterically crying. I was so emotional. Math was always my forte. And of course, I was a teacher. And they said it was going to take time. They didn't know if it would come back, but I gave it a year. I went through all the therapies. I went through all the concussion specialists, and they did say I had to retire from teaching early. So I found out about NAD, I guess, 2 months into after I retired. August, I retired. In October, I found out about NAD about a month after I started tirzepatide. And about 6 to 8 weeks in, I went to my concussion doctor. He told me the three words that you have to say at the beginning of a session. I went through the whole exercise with balancing and such. And at the very end, I could repeat those three words. I was so emotional. I couldn't believe it. My doctor said, Jennifer, what are you doing? Like, you haven't had this change. I've seen you for a year. And I told him I added this peptide. And he was beyond thrilled. He said that was definitely it. He knew all about it. He didn't know I was taking it. He knew all about NAD. He just couldn't believe the changes. I could remember and three little words like apple, pencil, and sink. I couldn't remember before, but I had the brain fog was gone. The mental clarity was gone. I had that back. My focus was back. I remember things now. My kids don't say, Mom, use your words when I'm talking, because I couldn't find them before. So the menopause symptoms are amazing as well. I don't have those hot flashes. I don't have the anxiety attacks. I'm nice to my family again. I don't need a 3 o'clock nap. So I just feel like a new woman. My brand pillars are resilience and renewal, because I feel like at 51, you can still be having fun with your family, not be sitting on the couch, get ready for the grandchildren, and just still enjoy your life again.
Oh, I love that. And that must have been such an emotional moment for you to be able to remember those three words.
It was so emotional. I was in tears. Called my mom as soon as I got in the car. I was so excited. So
Yeah,
such
I
a
can't
little
even
thing.
imagine.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been taking a few other peptides as well. So you've been taking the GLP1s, you've done the NAD plus, and then you kind of introduced the sermorelin, the B12, and a few of the other peptides. So how did they kind of impact you as well?
I was really afraid about losing muscle mass because of my neck injury and my body injury and still healing. That I started the sermorelin, and I haven't been to the gym yet, but I do walk, and I have like that definition in my legs where I don't think I've had since I was in sports in high school. So that's quite a long time. So that has been a real lifesaver for me. It also has helped me with sleeping. And B12, that helps. I thought that was only energy. That's helping me with sleeping as well, which is fantastic. And the BPC 157 has been a wonderful on my joints and my neck. I don't have to see the chiropractor only once a month now. The pain and the motion, the range of motion has been wonderful. So I've been so fortunate for the timing that I found this peptides and Ellie.
Yeah, it really does sound it. And we're so happy that you kind of have overcome all of that. You've been through quite a lot. So obviously you take quite a few different of the peptides. So talk to us a little bit about your routine with them. Is it a weekly thing, a daily, or how does that work for you?
Sure, absolutely. I take the tirzepatide. I take that on Saturdays, my GLP-1, and I take the BPC and the NAD together on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So 3 times a week, I split that up. And then the Sermorelin I take Monday through Friday and off on weekends. So it's super simple. I actually have a little magnetic calendar next to my refrigerator with all our dinner schedules, and then my shots right next to it. So super simple. I'm obsessed. I used to pass out at needles, and this is the tiniest little thing. And if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Oh, I love that. A lot of people are afraid of needles, so it's really good that you've said that. So obviously that was your big wow moment was the NAD plus. Obviously you remembered those three words. Like I can't even imagine putting that into words what that felt like for you.
It was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was, I didn't think I was going to go in thinking I would be able to repeat them. I really didn't. I had no idea the healing of my brain that had happened in those 6 to 8 weeks with the NAD.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that story with us. You know, that's quite an impactful story. You've been through a lot. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing that with everybody.
It's a pleasure. Like I said, I love to share with anyone that can relate or resonate or anybody you know might have the same issue. So thank you so much for having me.